Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Gurley Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
At the Colonel Ernesto Ravina Air Base in Capas, Tarlac, personnel of the Philippine Marine Corps and U.S. Marine Corps fire shot after shot. Their target, a terrorist's lair located in the valley. Marines from both sides worked together in attacking the target. But it's all part of the Marines' Combined Arms Live Fire Exercise, or CALFEX.
The scenarios that was conducted was the capture of enemy camps and destruction of enemy forces. The CALFEX is very important since, as we all know, it's a live fire exercise. So we must practice how we execute this live fire to ensure that not only the Philippine Marine Corps forces but also the U.S. Marine Corps forces can conduct these activities safely.
For the Philippines, the exercise meant testing some of its equipment, such as light armored vehicles and 155mm howitzers with their U.S. counterparts. The U.S. Marines also fired at the target using their High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, or HIMARS.
8 rounds of HIMARS. That was followed by approximately 35 minutes of suppression. The USMC fired 155s that were then followed on by the Philippine Marine Corps firing their 155s.
When the coast was clear, the Filipino and American Marines moved in to try and breach the enemy line through assault by continuous firing. Attack aircraft also flew in as reinforcements. They provided close air support to the troops on the ground. Major General Charlton Garland said the Philippine Marines has already done what was simulated in the exercise in the actual battles against the Abu Sayyaf group and other terrorist groups.
What you witness is always being used in the battlefield, especially during the campaigns in the southern Philippines and also against the communist terrorist groups and also the Abu Sayyaf group. And we have been successful in using all this capability to defeat these threats. The new equipment that we have, we just arrived, that's why we're happy to be able to use it. And maybe in future campaigns, we can likewise utilize this new capability to defeat the threats confronting the country.
The CALFEX is one of the last drills of the Philippine and U.S. Marines before the 2-week Kamandag bilateral exercise comes to an end on Friday. The joint drills finally occurred after a 2-year hiatus because of the COVID-19 pandemic. It also comes at a time of rising tensions between the United States and China. For U.S. officials, the two groups have achieved their goal to successfully exchange tactics and expertise in various areas and to learn to work together as allies.
There's 2 important things that are happening here. There were particular tactical skill sets that we were working on, the live fire integration with our Philippine Marine partners on the ground was one of them. But more importantly, what you see is the combined strength of 2 like-minded nations working together toward common cause. It's a very uncertain world that we live in, and I will tell you that there's nowhere better to be standing than arm in arm with our Philippine brothers and showing common purpose in our actions for all to see. The Philippine people have been magnificently represented by their superb armed forces throughout this entire exercise, and it's a real privilege to be here working with them.
To further strengthen its combat and operational capabilities, the Philippine Marine Corps has acquired new assets, including shore-based anti-ship missiles and anti-air missiles through the Armed Forces Modernization Program. The new assets are expected to arrive next year.
Clark Victorino will stay in office for 1 more year as Sangguniang Kabataan Chairman of Barangay South Triangle, Quezon City, after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed into law the proposal to postpone village and youth polls from December 5, 2022 to October 30, 2023. Clark plans to use the extended time to carry out more projects for the youth.
Tinitingnan ko na lang siya as a challenge na para mas i-improve pa yung sarili namin, yung sangguniang kabataan, yung serbisyo namin sa...
The Commission on Elections, for its part, will continue with its preparations. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia is not ruling out the possibility that the law postponing the elections will be questioned before the Supreme Court. The printing of ballots will be stopped for only a week to prepare a new template indicating the new date of the elections. Previously printed ballots will still be valid.
Nagdesisyon po ang Commission and Bank to proceed with all our preparations. In the final analysis, siyempre magiging batas po yan, pero of course the Supreme Court can always say something about the legality and constitutionality of this law.
The COMELEC will issue a resolution for a new election period and dates for other activities. The poll body will also use the time to continue with its voters' registration from the last week of November to May 2023. A Register Anywhere campaign will also be launched to allow voters to register in selected malls and offices. The voters list will also be cleansed, including dropping the names of deceased voters with the help of the civil registrar. With the expected increase in the number of voters, an additional 10 billion peso budget will be needed for more materials and honoraria for those serving on the new election date. The COMELEC will also be strict in scrutinizing certificates of candidacy.
Kahit po yung mga nagpa-file sa regular barangay, para maiwasan may magpa-file na naman ng mga kaso sa COMELEC based on age, based on non-registration, dumadami po yung dockets ng komisyon, lumalaki po. And therefore, kami rin na nasisisi kapag hindi ka agad na-dispatch out.
The COMELEC is also planning to hold an election summit to hear proposals from stakeholders and the public on the machine and system to be used for the 2025 national and local elections.
There will be a lot of discussions on the fully automated election system or will have hybrid election system. And hopefully itong ating mga stakeholders, yung mga election watchdogs would participate in this summit.
The summit will be held in January or February next year.
Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla confirms a man arrested by anti-narcotics operatives in Las Piñas City is his son. Authorities seized a little over 1.3 million pesos worth of high-grade marijuana or kush from the 38-year-old Juanito Jose Remulla III when he took delivery of a package sent from abroad last October 11. In a statement, the Justice Secretary says that though it pained him as a father, he must let justice take its course. He says he will not intervene in his son's case. The Justice Secretary also said Juanito Jose must face the consequences of his actions. Remulla also thanked the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency for doing their job and assured he has no conflict with the agency. Lastly, he professed respect for the justice system and wished his son a path to redemption. Justice Secretary Remulla is currently in Geneva, Switzerland for an official trip. Meanwhile, his brother Cavite Governor John Vic Remulla gave the assurance he too will not use his position to help his nephew. Governor Remulla added their family will not use their influence in his nephew's case in any way. Juanito Jose Remulla underwent inquest proceedings in Las Piñas early Thursday, where he's facing drug charges. The younger Remulla declined to speak on his case. He's now in the custody of the PIDEA.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Time has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting, exciting, young, and a very smart Filipino lady who will be updating us about what's the latest about the real estate business or industry. And her name is Resi Krabasher, right? Krabasher.
Kraybacker. Yeah. Yeah.
Krabasher. All right. Okay. Wow, what a name.
I know.
Okay. Welcome to our show, Resi. And I invited you to appear on our show today to answer some questions about the recent updates about real estate and working for Keller Williams. I bet, and you also have a podcast, regular podcast that I read that you send me, and you are really a good authority really on some of these updates. Okay, and help me welcome Miss Resi Kraybacker. Kraybacker. Hi,
Kraybacker. Kraybacker.
Kraybacker. All right, Resi, welcome to our show. Okay, first
Thank
thing.
you. Yeah, thank you, Veronica, for the opportunity. Maraming salamat. Kamusta po sa lahat?
Kamusta? And okay, how long have you been working with Keller Williams?
I actually just moved. I was with a different company for 14 years, and I started like my own team 2 years ago. So with Keller Williams One Chicago. Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good company.
Yeah.
Okay, so Resi, what can you tell about the recent updates on the real estate industry, particularly here
yeah.
in Chicago?
So, like I think what a lot of people, is like, how's the market, right? So I can tell you that, like definitely, like you could see where is in a stage what we call inflection point, where the demand is slowing down and the inventory of homes is creeping up. So that's where we're at right now. And I guess for potential sellers that are looking to sell right now, instead of them like thinking that their house is losing value, I think the right message is that it is still gaining value, but you're not going to make as much as what had like your neighbor sold last year. And like as you've seen, the interest rates have gone up. Like I think right now it's a little bit over 6%. So that's it's a great increase. Like like it was like 3 or under under 3% last year. So a lot of people are saying like are shocked, right? Yeah, medyo na shock sila kasi like money was so cheap last year. And is it still a good time to buy? It really depends on their situation, their timing, where they want to be, and it's on a case-by-case basis. And I really think that the best thing to do is to get the facts first about their situation. And remember, Chicago is hyper-local, so each neighborhood performs differently. So talking to an expert in real estate, if you have an agent, discuss and have a chat with your trusted realtor. And if you don't have any, if you're not working with it, please give me a call. I'm happy to have a conversation and see if it makes sense for you to buy today, to sell today, or in the near future.
Okay, to simplify things. Okay, last year was the what you could call buyer's market. And this
it was a seller's market. Yeah.
Our seller's market was last year. And this year is buyer's market now?
Well, when you say a seller's market, that means that if we have like months of inventory under 5 to 6 months, that's what we call a seller's market. If we do have homes that are, you know, our inventory is over 5 to 6 months, then that's what we call a buyer's market. And then anything like between 5 to 6 is a balanced market. Generally, right now in Chicago, we're still about 3 months of inventory. So as it is a seller's market. Mhm.
Okay.
However, it's slowing down. You could see like the data that we look at, it's our showing time. Yung showing time, it's you know, that's where we see like how many showing requests are being requested, and it has gone down. So it's like ang good analogy, Jen, is if you're like driving on a highway. So like right now, it's you know, like it's maybe like rush hour, you know, like not so much of a rush hour, but it's just like slowing down kasi medyo matraffic. But before, walang tao, you know, like there's you know, it's just all the cars are moving fast. So it's not like that anymore. It's decelerating, it's slowing down. But that doesn't mean that the prices are going down. It
Which is
doesn't mean that it's depreciating.
okay. So usually, which is more what you would call normal, the normal state of the real estate? What is normal?
Well, you know, normal would be like everybody has opportunities, right? It's the sellers are still getting their bottom line, and you know, the buyers are still getting the price that, you know, that they want, or the terms that they want. So, but as it is right now, if it is a really, really good property, you know, like it shows well, it's priced well, you can still get multiple offers. But if the condition of the home, if you need to like fix it up, then, you know, usually those type of properties stays longer in the market. And that's where the home sellers. Yeah.
About for what would be a good market for a realtor like you, that you will be able to sell property so fast and make your money quick?
Well, you know, like it's really not about me as like how I can, you know, like make money, but it's about my clients, on how I can help them get to their destination at the time frame that they want. So a lot of people, they, you know, they have to move because for certain reasons, like they want to be they're moving for a job transfer, for example, and they need to be there at a certain time frame, or they, you know, like they want to be closer to family, and they want to be able to move there before, for example, before their kids start school. So there's just like a lot of reasons. And I mean, I sell homes throughout the year, but the most important thing is it's all about the clients. It's all about my clients. How can I get them what they need, what they want at the time that they want?
Okay.
That makes sense? Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
But
how about
seasonally, of course, spring, you know, spring market is, you know, typically our strongest market. And then as we, you know, as it gets cold in Chicago, then we do tend to see the slowdown during the winter, you know, winter time.
how about the interest rates right now?
I think I haven't really looked at today, but I think it's over 6%. So it, you know, it went up. Yeah. But the one thing also that I need to let potential buyers know, especially for first-time buyers, for any conventional loans, there are lenders out there that are offering what we call a 2-1 buy down. So I can explain more about that, but basically what it goes is that you can ask the seller for a closing cost credit or a concession, so that you can have a decrease in interest rate for 2 years. So let's say the interest rate right now is 6%. You can, you can pay, like one of my preferred lenders is offering that there's a certain program that they can do. Like, let's say if it's 2% below the current interest rate right now for the first year, and then 1% on the second year. So I can explain. I can explain it more or talk more to anybody who would be interested in that type of program and connect to my preferred lender.
Only for first-time buyers, right?
It's for conforming loans, so not jumbo. So it could be, it could be a move-up buyer, it could be a downsizer, but the thing is, it's only for the conventional loans. So nothing, no jumbo loans. Yeah, under seven. I forgot the limit, but it's like anything below 700 something thousand. Yeah.
Okay, Resi. Well, were you doing real estate when you were in the Philippines?
No. I came here as a physical therapist. I graduated at UST as PT. Yeah.
What attracted you to switch to real estate business from physical therapy?
Honestly, I don't agree with the U.S. healthcare, but that's just another topic.
All right.
So I consider myself an advocate, and I can be more of an advocate in real estate with my clients instead and than being an advocate in healthcare. That's all I can say.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is your first time to handle real estate in this country. And okay, working with our Filipino-American community here in Chicago.
Yeah.
I bet you have already some clients that you can put on your list, the Filipino clients I'm talking about. Okay, what do you think about the Filipinos as far as real estate buying is concerned?
Again, thank you for the opportunity of being interviewed here. I'm Filipino and I'm proud of being Filipino. We are such hardworking people. Lahat tayo, like we come here to, to search for like a greener pasture to improve our lives, right? And I do believe in home ownership so much because that gave me, it has a lot of benefits of improving your life. Having a sense of freedom and accomplishment. And if you can, please do so. Because, like, yung mga nagre-rent, be your own landlord. If you're able to buy, and I don't know your situation, but if you can, and then reach out to me and I will tell you, I'll be honest and transparent with you if it makes sense for you to be a homeowner or not. And for our home, for anybody who's already has owned homes, think about investing. Think about real estate investing and see like what are the options that you could do to improve your net worth so that you make your money work hard for you instead of you working hard for your money.
Okay, I also think it depends upon what age stage you're in, right? Okay, I think as far as I'm concerned, speaking about my experience, well, home ownership is really open to many young people out there to in their lives. And but once you reach your senior age, like me, time to downsize and go back to renting. So it's always buying versus renting, right? In life.
Yeah, and it needs a conversation. It needs an advocate to tell you what options you have and to help you navigate, like, and be confident in that decision. Because a lot of times we don't really ask the right questions. And I can tell you, like, I helped a Filipino, a friend of mine, and hindi niya alam, ang dami na pala niyang equity dun sa property niya. And then she was just gonna forgo it. She was just gonna let it foreclose because, like, she lost her job. And I said, no, you have a lot of equity on this. And she didn't know. And so we sold it. We fixed it up. We prepared it, and now, like, she's comfortable. So those are like a lot of situations that you really need to, like, know what's happening in the market right now. So that's the most important information, is what is happening in the market right now.
Yes, that is a very interesting scenario, and I really am enjoying watching the ups and downs of real estate business. I have friends in the business itself, and it really amazes me how they could really enjoy selling and buying and helping people to buy it actually, and very interesting business. Well, Resi, we're running out of time, but one last word. What tip can you give our viewing audience regarding real estate, whether buying or selling?
Really get the information. Get somebody that talk to somebody you trust, an expert and an advocate. 2008, it's not going to happen because it's at that time housing, the real estate market cost it, but this time it's not. And as you can see, during the pandemic, everybody saw what home means to everyone. So if you have any real estate questions at all or any concerns and you're not working with a realtor, please reach out to me and I'm happy to help you make that decision and answer all the questions for you.
It sounds to me that you're really a terrific realtor, and I think your company, the Keller Williams, should really be so proud of you. And
thank you.
And enjoy sharing your articles, your podcast, and I'm proud of you, and I thank you for gracing our show today.
If anybody wants to reach me, I can be reached at 773-965-4100, or reach out to Veronica and she knows how to find me.
Okay. Bye, Resi.
Thank you, Veronica.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Gertie Pascual. I'm very excited to have with us today a very, very young superstar in Manila, film, song. I've actually watched her perform, and her name is Miss Sue Ramirez.
Miss
Sue, welcome to Chicago.
Oh my gosh,
thank you for gracing our show.
Thank you for having me.
She's even prettier in person, so
thank you.
we're honored to have you here. But anyway, Sue, let's get down to why you're here. So you're having a concert tomorrow with Alden Richards.
With the Alden Richards.
With the Alden Richards.
Alden Richards is doing his forward tour here in the Midwest, and I was lucky enough to be tagged along. And it's been a very, very fun tour. We're doing 3 shows, and we're doing our last show tomorrow. So it's kind of
Illinois
sad.
is your last
Yeah, Illinois
stop.
is our last stop. So we're very excited about that. It's been a couple of days since we haven't been actually really doing anything. So we're really excited to just get on the job and see the people we're gonna watch. And it's really just an honor to be tagged along to come here and to see all of the Filipinos.
I'm happy to hear that because I know you have a lot of fans here in Illinois. You're very, very famous And you're very talented actress. You started when you were young, correct?
Yes, I started when I was 13. So I've been literally in the industry for half of my life. I'm 26 now.
Still
So
very
I've
young.
been
Still
working
very young.
for a long time, and yeah, I started out just auditioning. I never really expected that one day I'll be in Chicago to perform in front of our Filipino communities here in the US. And wala, parang it's also surreal still, even though it's been a long time that I've been in the industry. Parang doing shows like this and
Getting out of the Philippines,
getting out of the Philippines to actually see people that you don't usually see.
Yeah.
It's very exciting and I'm very, very honored.
So, is there any specific place in Chicago that you read about or saw on TV
The
that you
Bean,
wanted?
of course,
Oh,
the
really?
famous Bean, and we went on the ferry tour
Oh my
this
goodness,
morning.
okay,
So of course,
architectural
the famous
buildings
architectural buildings and also the famous scene of Julia Roberts on what's this movie? My Best Friend's Wedding.
Yes.
We're under the bridge.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so those are one of the spots.
Isn't it nice that you get to visit
I
that?
know, it's so cool.
Well, we were having a little conversation where I mentioned that Sue has an American father.
Yes.
How are they? How are your parents? Are they
My
okay?
mom is in Manila. My dad actually passed away
Oh,
in
I'm so sorry.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah, but my mom's okay.
You know, Kentucky's only 4 hours away
I
from
know,
Chicago.
yeah.
But I know
But
you
I have
have-
my siblings are in Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did you get a chance to visit them at all?
we really don't have the time.
So
to go
after Illinois, are you leaving?
yeah, there's a job back in Manila that's waiting for us, both me and Alden. And as much as I would love to extend, we'll be coming from JFK, so it's also my first time going to New York. Which is a dream destination for me.
Yes.
So,
So you're hitting all the big cities.
yes, I'm hitting
That's
all the
good.
big cities and just going on tours for like just squeezing them in.
I
to a
hope you have
day.
a lot of space in your luggage for
I
shopping.
know.
But okay, let's talk about your projects. What are you going back to? What's your current project?
Okay, so I think all of our Filipino kapamilya here who have watched a show that I just finished. It's called The Broken Marriage Vow. I want to thank
That's
everybody
very, very
who
popular,
supported
right?
our
Yes.
show. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. And there's another teleserye that I'm going to be starting soon. So I can't really say much about it yet, but
Of course,
that's
going
the
to
work
be
that's
soon.
waiting when I get back.
Okay, so is there a website that they can visit to
well-
check up on you and your schedule and what you're
Yeah, I
doing?
do have Facebook and Instagram. I also have Twitter, not so active too. But you can follow me on Instagram at Sue Adam Noodles and Facebook at Sue Adam Ramirez. I Sue Ramirez. Sorry, I keep confusing my real name with my.
Well,
Miss
can you
Amy.
just drop a hint of who's your partner dito sa
I can't.
Hindi talaga pwede.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Alam ko pwede
Pwede lang po. Pero sobrang exciting. Sobrang exciting.
Anything else you want to share with your fans in Illinois and the rest of America?
No, I just want to say thank you because we've been going around and as I said, napaka-init po ng inyong pagtanggap sa amin dito. Ramdam po namin na kahit nasa Pilipinas kami, the whole time we were here, na-feel namin na kilala niyo kami at talagang parang malapit kami sa inyo kahit na magkakalayo tayong lahat. I feel very honored to meet every Filipino here in the States and also to meet all of the people who are going to be watching tomorrow. Thank you so much for the love and support and more power to everyone. God bless.
And Sue, thank you for visiting Illinois.
Yes.
People are hungry here for, seeing their idols. We only see you, on the movies, on TV, YouTube, whatever. So it's always a pleasure to see the real person behind the lens.
Physically here.
So on behalf of the people of Illinois, Chicago Philippine Reports TV, maraming salamat for gracing our show.
Maraming salamat.
And of course, I'll say break a leg tomorrow because it's
Thank
supposed to
you.
be lucky. And we hope you'll come back again to Illinois.
Yes,
and,
please do invite me again.
Yes.
I would love to come back.
Thank
Chicago's
you so
beautiful.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And that's our guest, Ms. Sue Ramirez. I'm Bernie Pascual. We'll see you back at the studio.
would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV. I'm back with another special guest this time, a young male superstar from the Philippines who has a lot of fans here in America. We'd like to present to you today Mr. Alden Richards.
No, nice to meet you.
Alden, welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for giving us a few minutes of your
Of course, and since it's my first time here in Chicago, parang okay din naman po to guest in one of your talk
our
shows
local,
here.
yeah. Well, yeah, Cprtv has been around for over 30 years, just so you know.
30
And
years. Same
yeah.
age as me po.
Mas matanda kami kaysa sa'yo.
Yes po.
Yung dyno namin, mas matanda
Yes
kaysa
po,
sa'yo.
yes po.
Because I know you're a very young guy. Anyway, Alden, I've been reading up on you very quickly. So I know that a lot of you know he's a very famous actor, teleserye, movies, also sing.
Yes po.
But your latest thing now is charity work. So
yes ma'am. I
I
would really love
think
to talk
that's
about that. Yes.
I think that's what's closest to your heart right now.
Yes,
from
yes,
what I've been reading.
Yes,
So why don't you tell us about what you're doing? You know.
Yes, well, apparently since I started my work as an actor back in the Philippines, whenever I have, how should I say it, parang spare funds?
Yes.
Spare funds. I really do my part in donating to charities, giving back as well. It has been in my blood since I started earning. Yes, po.
So aside from your family, because I'm sure that's the trending story in a lot of the likes of people who become famous.
Yes, po. Family first, po. Yes.
But for you, it extends beyond family, and I think that's what I was amazed about.
Yes, po.
I don't hear that very often.
Yes, because I've kept it secret for a long time.
Sabi ni Father Simon.
Yes, I don't wanna post it, or I don't want to let people know what I'm doing behind the camera, because I'm really not a fan of approvals. So I don't find purpose in it when a lot of people
Just
do
use
what.
it for promoting themselves.
But I have nothing against people who post po. Parang it's just
Your
my
personal
personal
belief.
preference, yes, I believe.
So let's say me, okay, I found out about your charity. How do they reach out to your charity organization?
Yes, well,
Can you tell us?
we have our social media accounts. We have on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's called AR Foundation, and if you have questions or inquiries about our foundation, you can just send us a message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Oh, okay.
So basically, our foundation helps a lot of kids to go to school, especially the less fortunate.
So do you have or did you set up like Zelle, Venmo, forms of payment?
Oh, I see. So as of now po,
Tinutulungan na kita
Yes, ma'am.
because
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of people that, mayaman naman namin.
Yes, po.
Let's help the ones in the
Yes, po.
Philippines.
So apparently, we're actually planning to go to venture into international payment methods. Pero as of now, we have banks, and all the bank details po is on our social media. And I'm really I'm looking forward to those who want to help.
Yes, you know why? Because when Bantay Bata came here and Gawad, they were raising thousands and thousands of dollars. So baka naman, there's a lot of people.
Yes, hopefully po. Yes, just let us know. I mean, it would help a lot of kids. I mean, because I'm an advocate for education, because I myself wasn't able to graduate. So that's why I created this. I launched this foundation so that somehow I would like to break the cycle of poverty. That's
Do your part.
and do my part to our fellow men back home. So I'm looking forward for your help and thank you so much in advance po.
Okay, let's move on to fun things.
Yes, yes, yes.
So what are your current projects?
So right now po, I'm doing Korean drama adaptation called Startup, and I'm sure.
Yes, we saw that on Netflix.
On Netflix,
actually.
yes, that's.
So you're the Filipino version of
the
that.
Filipino version, and I'm gonna be playing the role of Good Boy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
to all the fans out there of Startup, watch out for it. We're almost done. I think we're gonna air this coming September.
Okay. And what about musical? Any events coming up there?
So right now, I'm doing this tour for Forward, which was my concert last year, and hopefully by January, there's another surprise that I can say.
divulge right
I can
now.
divulge right now. But
So watch out for
Watch out,
Alden's. So you have your Instagram account.
Yes.
They wanna read about you.
If
follow you.
my handle is at Alden Richards 02 for Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook, just look for the Alden Richards with the verified blue check on the side.
Check on
The
this.
blue check.
But official.
Official, yes.
Okay, that's good. And what do you want to say to your thousands of fans that are going to be watching this?
To everyone who's gonna watch us tomorrow for Forward Chicago Leg concert tour, I'm very grateful because a portion of the proceeds will also go to the foundation as well. And it's my first time here, so I'm very psyched and excited about the concert for tomorrow because I've heard marami daw pupunta. So
Yes.
I can't wait, and I'm so grateful. I'm so happy to be here in Chicago. And
What did you like about the places you've seen so far?
What I
Is
like
there a
about
favorite?
Chicago is this is the first time I've been in a place that has no mountains. It's flat.
Yeah,
So
correct.
not
like California.
Not like California because lagi po ako dun sa West Coast.
Yeah.
So I was amazed na there's such place that's as flat as Chicago.
That's why
So-
we have a lot of tornadoes.
That's why. Kaya pala.
So that's not.
And then I've seen Lake Michigan from
Yes.
the topmost the sky deck of Willis Tower.
Yes. And can you believe how big it is?
I
It's
thought
like a
I thought it was an ocean.
right? Except for the waves.
Except for the waves. So, and then I googled it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lake. It's just a lake, but biggest,
Yes, the
third biggest lake in the world, Mama.
in the U.S.
In the U.S. So I would definitely be back here in Chicago. What's on a winter
You
season?
know what else is good to know? Did you notice the lake, how it's designed, and it looks like the one in Manila Bay? You know why? The designer is the same. The name is Burnham of Burnham Park in Baguio. That's the architect. Both Lakeshore Drive, Manila Bay, and Burnham Park. So you see, we learned something new
that's good.
today.
That's a
We're
good
proud of
thing.
that.
Galing, galing.
Philippine connection. But anyway, Alden, thank you so much
Thank you.
for gracing our show today.
Of course, of course.
We'd love to help you out.
Thank you so
Your
much.
charity will start promoting it also to CPRTV.
Thank you.
And hopefully you won't be a stranger.
I won't. I will be definitely. I would definitely be back here.
Thank you so much. I'm Maria Gurley Pascual saying thank you to Alden Richards. And we'll be back at the studio. Maraming salamat.
Thank you po.
Hello, Cprtv viewers. This is Pastor Ed once again coming to you from Faith Family Worship Center in Chicago, Illinois. I just want to share with you a short devotion, and I'm going to read a few verses from Colossians chapter 3, verses 12, 13, and 14. And these passages tell us, in verse 12, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Verse 13, bear with each other and forgive one another. And if any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And then in verse 14, and over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. I just want to title this devotion, Designer's Clothing. Designers, I'm talking about God, our designer, the great designer of the universe and of nature and the creator of all life. He is the great designer. But for these particular passages, I just want to share something about what I would call the designer's clothing. And as you can see in verse 12, it says, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. And so this verse tells us to clothe ourselves or put on the designer's clothing. And the one thing that you will notice right off the bat from verse 12 is that Paul said, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved. So don't forget those three things. We are God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved. And once we have a relationship with God's Son Jesus, we are called holy, dearly loved, and chosen people. And this designer's clothing that I'm talking about is they don't easily wear out. Okay, unlike the physical clothing that we have, over time they will wear out. But when we clothe ourselves with the designer's clothing, namely compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience, forgiveness, and love, they will never wear out as long as we keep on using them, we keep on applying them in our lives. They are eternal. They are part of us. And also, the designer's clothing is something that's not so expensive. Okay, you don't pay for this. It's free. It's been bought by the Lord Jesus Christ at the cross of Calvary. Because once we receive Christ as Savior and Lord, then the life of Jesus begins to live in us. It's no longer I that lives, but Christ who lives in us, Galatians chapter 2, right? And so Jesus purchased our salvation, our redemption. And as holy, chosen, and beloved people of God, we have this available clothings, designer's clothing, compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience, love, forgiveness. And these are beautiful Christian virtues or Christian graces that we can put on every single day. Every single day. And the other thing I'm going to talk about, this designer's clothing, is that, people tend to say dress to impress, right? But in this particular designer's clothing, this is to dress to bless. This is to bless other people, to be a channel of blessings, and to show compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience to others, forgiving them, forgiving those who hurt us. It says here, bear with each other and forgive one another if any one of you has a grievance against someone. And then it says, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all of this, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. So love has to be the foundation. Love has to be the motivation. Love has to be at the forefront of all that we do, because that's what makes it authentic and genuine, when we show compassion, kindness, humility, patience, gentleness, love, and forgiveness to others. And so these are beautiful passages. I hope you are blessed upon hearing them, or I would encourage you to read Colossians chapter 3. These are wonderful, anointed blessed words of God. So thank you again for joining us. God bless you, and until next time.
Good afternoon. This is Bridget Carino-Quetta bringing you this week's local news from our community. TV shows like The Walking Dead and iZombie have shown us that although it's unlikely, you should always consider the possibility of a zombie apocalypse. On the off chance that doomsday is around the corner, experts at rantcasino.com sought to investigate which states of the U.S. would be most affected by a zombie apocalypse. The total number of zombies is synonymous with the number of graves in the area. Here are some highlights from the research. If you live in New York, you might not escape unharmed in a zombie apocalypse, with a whopping 12,691,919 potential zombies roaming the streets. New York is also home to 9,730 cemeteries, which we recommend avoiding. The second most dangerous state to live in during a zombie apocalypse is Pennsylvania, with 12,505,514 potential zombies. If you live in Alaska, you might escape a potential zombie apocalypse unharmed, with only 72,849 potential zombies roaming the streets. October is College Changes Everything Month in Illinois, where high schools and community partners team up to support students in completing their college and financial aid applications. During CCE Month and the Fall CCE campaign from Labor Day through Thanksgiving, ISAC and its partners provide an intensive schedule of free college and financial aid application completion workshops available statewide. That's especially important this year, as students will see changes in the free application for federal student aid, FAFSA, that will begin to simplify the application, and there will be expanded financial aid eligibility for some students. The 2023-24 FAFSA and the alternative application for Illinois financial aid became available October 1st, 2022. There are a lot of exciting changes happening that can make education after high school more accessible for more students, especially low-income students, said Executive Director of ISAC, Eric Zarnico. Artwork created by youth at Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice Facilities will be displayed this fall in an exhibition titled Can You See Me? The exhibition opens with a reception on October 14th at 5 p.m. at the Weinberg Newton Gallery, located at 688 North Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago. The exhibition originated from Sky Art's Just Us program, which provides weekly studio-style art therapy sessions for youth in IDJJ facilities. Can You See Me? Will be on display until December 17th and will highlight the humanity and potential of young people affected by the juvenile justice system. The goal of the project is to explore how art can be a tool of justice and healing. IDJJ Director Heidi Mueller stated, Sky Art's Can You See Me exhibit is so meaningful to us at IDJJ. Not only does the exhibit provide our talented kids the opportunity to display the art they've created to a wider audience, but it also allows the public a chance to see our kids the way we see them, as young people with potential and hope for a bright future. The cost of making electric cars will reach parity with internal combustion cars by around 2025 to 2026. The head of Envision Racing forecast a step expected to accelerate the industry's transition to cleaner, greener vehicles. Sylvain Philippi, managing director of Envision Racing, said it would soon become more expensive to manufacture traditional cars than their electric counterparts, given that the cost of manufacturing internal combustion vehicles is increasing. In 2025 to 2026, you'll start to see parity on the supply side. In developed countries, Philippi said during an interview at the Reuters Impact Climate Conference, adding sticker price parity meant the total cost of ownership would be lower. A delegation from the Philippine Embassy in Washington, D.C., led by Minister and Consul General Eric C. Arribas, met with Madam Sandy Peters-Phillips, Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Trade of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and discussed possible cooperation in aquaculture, coconut industry development, climate change, disaster risk management, and protection of foreign workers' welfare. Concurrently, consular outreach missions were conducted in SVG and in Antigua, with a total of 76 passport renewals processed and oath of allegiance administered to 16 dual citizenship applicants. Filipino community volunteers in these two Caribbean destinations welcomed and assisted the embassy's consular team. Antigua is home to about 150 Filipinos, mostly working in the tourism industry and household services, while SVG is host to approximately 50 Filipinos, mostly working in the medical field. Antigua and SVG are both under the jurisdiction of the Philippine Embassy in Washington, D.C. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
And that's our show for today. Thank you all for watching Chicago Philippine Reports TV. We hope you will stay safe and enjoying this day with your family and friends. I'm Maria Girly Pascual. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay, and we'll see you back here next week.
So sure.